Natural flow. What does this mean? What does natural flow? What is natural flow? The aspect of natural flow. Natural flow is something of the mind. Think of this chopstick. You think it's an ordinary chopstick. It is. It is an ordinary chopstick. But just imagine it. The line here pointing towards something but never sees the end. That's what heroes do. They don't deserve this natural flow. In all fighting movies and all that stuff, natural flow never becomes a topic. And therefore, natural flow is something powerful, something no one can control, no one can get, because natural flow means the rate of volume of water movement past a specific point on a natural stream reduced to drainage area from which there is no effect caused by this diversion, storage, import, export, return to flow, changes in the consumption use. Which means the flow of the water. The water is fluent. The water is movement. The water is a natural flow. And that's what makes a man powerful. Because, like with my hands, I can go backwards, forwards, all these sorts of moves to make a natural flow. Like I can put two of my hands this way, one backwards, one forwards. I can do all sorts of great movements like that and all that stuff because it's a natural flow. It's a natural movement. Because what defines non-natural movements? Well, let me explain to you. When you punch someone, you're putting force into it. And you're only focused. Your body is keen to focus on that particular part of the hand, of the area. Like this, I'm pointing at with a chopstick. You see, down the wrist and all through the hand, it's focused on that power, on that mind, on that sight, on that will, on that courage, on anything really. The only thing that controls this power is the mind. And that's what villains have. The mind. They have the mindset, the mind manipulation to break from that natural flow. They could get this natural flow easily. They could. But they can't. Unfortunately, they can't. All the hatred, all the rage, all the revenge leads to nothing. So it's just like this chopstick. It's a one-way street. A never-ending one-way stick of life. Think of this chopstick as the heroes and villains trying to do a natural movement with the stick. You see, it's not doing anything. It's restricted to that movement, to one specific point. No matter what you do, no matter what flow you do, you'll always be restricted. You'll always be restricted by that stick, because heroes and villains are restricted to movement, to natural authenticity to that movement. And it's a one-way street. So let's say the start here, the start, which is right here, the bottom. Let's say the hero, the villain causes damage, or the hero, gets crash landed or born into the place. It starts. Then the villain causes damage. See how my finger is moving towards the end, and then the villain starts chaos, destruction. Hero stops him, and the hero puts him in a prison, and the villain escapes at the end of the stick. Because it's not just the end of the stick, it's not the end. Because that means you're going to go back towards the start, because it's always going to be at the beginning, because it's always going to lead again and again. It's always going to be the same thing over and over again, because this is the stick. Because there's no natural movement from the mind and from the soul, from the honor, from the justice, from the faith, from anything really. It's a one-way stick. If you got rid of the stick, natural flow, natural movement. Be like water, everyone. Be like water. Natural, calm. Doesn't matter about what side they're on. Doesn't matter if they're on the villains or the heroes. Because yin and yang are balanced. There always is going to be positive and negative in the world. And some people in real life don't see that. When you're positive, you don't see that there's people that are negative. When you're negative, and when you see positive people, when you're negative and you see positive people, you think they're living in a fantasy. See, that is yin and yang. That is the balance. An atom needs to be balanced by positive and negative. But when one person tries to control that balance, tries to ruin it, it's still going to be the one stick. You need to get rid of the stick to have natural flow. Because unlike water, we can't have a natural flow. I can't get a natural flow. Monks and all that stuff. Monks, senseis, masters, they can't get the natural flow. No one can. No one can get the natural flow of the world, natural flow of life. And because if you have natural flow, you're the most powerful thing in the universe. When you're flowing like water, when you have a flow like water, you're calm, melody, and flow. You got rid of the stick and flow. Your mind is like a flow of water. Your movements are like water. So be like water, everyone.